Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Joyful Finding Show. So glad you guys could join me today. Today is February 5th, 2020. And here we are in the second month of 2020 already. Isn't time flying? Aren't you having fun? I know I am. Not all of it's fun, but I've been on that, learning curve still, just like we always probably will be in this lifetime, but it's all good. As we start to expand, right? Because I feel like that's what a lot of us are doing right now is expanding. And it's funny when my mail guy is going to deliver something now. So a special delivery. Hey, everything matters, right? So everything that's starting to shift and change, and we're starting to expand out of our old selves, right? I remember at the end of the last show, we were talking about transformation when Christopher brought out his little transformers, and it's about us transforming into who we really want to be now, right? So you're still shedding a lot of that old skin. You're starting to create more of what it is that you do want in your life. You can see I'm like doing all this little hand movement. So we're creating a lot of energy as this stuff is starting to move around. And everything that you're starting to create and let go of, like there's this purging of letting stuff go. And then there's also this moving forward into this, what it is that you truly want in your life. So it's like you're starting to mix things up, right? It's like getting rid of stuff and doing stuff all at the same time. So you're in like this pattern, right? That's kind of how I felt today. The energy is a little weird today, so I don't know what I'll end up talking about, but it was like this. But everything worked out in time, right? I had to today. I'll give you the example. My kids needed to go to the doctors because they're sick yet again. So I was at the doctor's, and they kept me there for. Oh my gosh, I was there forever. Our appointment was supposed to be at 10:30. I don't think the doctor walked in the room until 11:45. And I was getting a little impatient. My human self is like, what is up with this? I was like, I got a show I got to do this afternoon. I got to be home by 1:00 so I can be online for my people, and for my show and for me, you know what I mean? And everything worked out just fine. I was able to pick up the kids' lunch and get home in time. I was able to sit down, take a deep breath, and then now here I am for you guys. So everything works out in time, right? And I'm starting to notice that more and more. So I'm going to talk about time a little bit today, I guess. So things are really starting to work out for us. So even though we're human, right, and we feel like we have this certain timeline or whatever that we have to stick to, and we can, I call it bending time now because I make time work for me, even though I was frustrated in that hour and a half at the doctor's office. But now it's like, there's so many weird noises going on out here today. So weird. All this energy is joining me, I guess. So it's like this, I don't even know where I was going with that because all the creaking going over there. So I have spirits here today that are going to make noise, which is kind of fun too. You never know what's going to happen when you get on my show or whatever. So with everything that's starting to shift and transpire, I'll turn my little mute off on my phone. So everything that's starting to transpire and take place is for your highest and best because you're starting to listen to your heart center more. You're starting to tap into that so much more and starting to really ask yourself, what does that feel like for me? Does that feel like my truth? Does that not feel like my truth? There's a lot of things that are switching it up in your lives right now. So switching it up and stuff. Hold on a second. Okie dokie. So I have both kids home today, so that's going to make things a little different, but it's all good. Everything happens for a reason. My kids' energy probably needed to be here for this show today too, because they're both very energetic beings. The little one is, the big one is, they both see things, they do things and act differently, but they pick up on energies differently. They, relate differently with it. So it gives me a different aspect of the energies too, and how they react to things and things that they're feeling that might be spooky or something. Because maybe that's why I was hearing that, because Christopher's been like, oh, that's creepy or stuff like that lately. So I have to teach him, right from wrong and what is real and what is not real. He's still in that kind of mode because he's only 4.5 years old. So it's definitely an adventure being a mom and being a spiritual mom on top of it, because I wish my mom could have been like me. Honestly, I really wish my mother could have been a lot more like me. I guess I'm going to talk about me today. Okay, so which is kind of funny because I think it's either one of my mother's parents' birthdays. It would have been their birthday today. So maybe that's why I'm going down this path. I'm like, it was either yesterday or today. So I feel like, I wish I would have had more of the upbringing that I'm giving my children. I'm being more open-minded about things, not so closed off. I'm definitely not as strict because my parents were really strict, and see how that's going to make me straight now. But it was a good thing. I'm not that I'm lenient by far with my children, but I'm just a little bit more compassionate, maybe understanding and things of that sort. And it's kind of funny because my mother has been passed away for 22 going on 23 years now. And that's a really long time. It's like more than half my life, almost. And when she passed away, I've gone to mediums, I've gone to all kinds of people, and I finally went to see a psychic back in November, and my mother came through and actually said she was sorry. And my mother's never said she was sorry in any of the messages or anything, but she said in that message, maybe this is why I'm saying that, because she wished she was a better mother. She wished she was a better mother, and it wasn't really her fault. It was her learning experience and everything that she had to learn. And I totally forgive my mother for that. So maybe this is like mother-daughter stuff going on. So if you guys have mother-daughter stuff going on, maybe it's time to clear it up. But it's like, I feel like that cleared the air because it was like, wow, in 22 years, this is exactly what I said. I was like, wow, in 22 years, I was like, my mother's never said she was sorry. She's always said she's proud of me and all these things, but she's never said that she was sorry. So with that, it shows me how much learning has taken place for her on the other side. When we pass away and go to the other side, it's like, there's, it just, there's learning. We're always learning. So I guess today is about learning too. You know what I mean? So it's like, we are learning always. We never stop learning. If you think you've stopped learning, you really haven't. I will never stop learning in this lifetime or any other lifetime outside of this. Oh, your mom passed over 20 years ago too. I know, we miss our mamas too, don't we? I know. And the lessons that we learn through them and from them, we are grateful for the lessons of our mothers, even though we are not like them. Absolutely the truth. So you just lit me up so that we got that mother energy flowing through us. Okay. So it's, with all of that, it's like we are starting to understand, and we're definitely raising our children differently than we did 20 years ago, 10 years ago, definitely 50 years ago. And more than 100 years ago. Okay, so it's like we're all evolving, and the things that we're evolving in is finding more of our higher self, right? Because even if I compare my kids' childhood to mine at this particular moment, they're not subjected to the things that I had to learn that I did not find of value. Okay, just like I always call myself a recovering Catholic because at the age of 13, I used to go to Sunday school, and I used to be in the Bible Sunday, all that fun stuff. But it wasn't fun because when I finally woke up at 13, I was like, this is not my God. This is not my God. This is not who I know. Recovering Catholic is funny though. It's true though. So I was like, this is not my God. My God is not all punishing. My God would not say this to me. My God would not do this to me. And I went to my mother and my father, and my mother was really the one that was, the Catholic one and wanted me to keep going to church. And I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I feel like it's a lie. It doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't, I can take the parts that do resonate with me because I'm not saying it's all garbage, but there is some of it that is, you know what I mean? So it's like, I only took what I believed and I moved on from the rest. And my parents were like, okay, I guess I gave them a good enough argument why I should not go anymore because I totally didn't believe it. So that was like something that was changing for me. And realizing when I was sensing truth, right? Because we pick up the breadcrumbs. I talk about this all the time too. So as we pick up those breadcrumbs as we go along, right? Those are one of my breadcrumbs, but I didn't know it was a breadcrumb until I was 40. Okay, so when I was 13, something happened that I didn't recognize was significant until I was 40. So it's like picking all the little things out of your life and starting to make sense out of them and putting the dots together. And as I say this, I'm getting goosebumps. So they want you to feel the energy from now till whenever, just so that you're connecting in, so that you feel yourself, because those goosebumps, that connection feeling is your higher self. And it's very important in this day and age that we start to feel that completely. Okay. So I want you guys to start feeling it, feeling it, feeling it. Okay. Stepping into your higher self, allowing that to flow down in you and just let it be. Okay. Just let it be. Find balance within it, because I feel like balance between heaven and earth is what we're trying to do, right? This is our earthly body, right? This little suit we picked up. And then the soul self is inside of that. So we're trying to find that balance within these two realms, and making the best of it. Okay. And there's a lot of things going on right now that are probably causing some anxiety in some people. Please let that go. Know that everything's working out for the highest and best. Don't worry your little hearts about it, is what they're saying, which is so cute. They were being all Southern there for a minute. That's so cute. I wonder who that is. So the angels and the guides and your loved ones and your ascended masters, everybody on the other side, the galactic beings, that everybody is here to be of service and to help, right? And this is to help you open up to find out who you really are, okay? And you can see, I feel like I'm untying a little bow, because I feel like you guys are unwrapping yourselves. You're finding out who you are now and really starting to step into that and own that. And it's so funny because I did a little bit of automatic writing before I started, and it wasn't a lot, as you can see, but I'm going to read it to you instead of having you try to read it. But they wrote the date, right? Because it's February 5th of 2020. And then they wrote magical happenings with two little waves, right? And then the joy of not knowing. So the joy of not knowing what is coming next is trusting, right? Because that's been a popular word this week too, is to trust. So it's really time for us to trust our higher selves and stuff. And also they want me to share 9 is also completion, but 9 is also creation. So I don't know where all that comes from or what that means to y'all, but I was getting that I needed to share that after I wrote that the other day. And again, they had me do one more. So here it is. Ready, set, go. Where do you go? I forget what it says. Down the rabbit hole, of course. So it's like more and more people, I feel like, are taking that deep dive in. They're going down their own little rabbit holes because it's here, right? And you're finding out who you really are. I feel like there's a lot of untying, untwisting, cord cutting going on. There's a lot taking place as you're starting to find these things out. You're becoming lighter, you're becoming happier, you're becoming joyful, and you're finding joy in even the things that make you feel crappy, which is fantastic too, right? Because it's about finding joy in everything, and everything happens for a reason. And are you being observant of what those reasons might be? Or are you just walking around with your blinders on and only looking straight ahead? You know what I'm saying? See, they're changing the up to the energy. So I guess you guys need to stop that if you have blinders on. If you have blinders on, it's time to take them off. It's time for you to be observant. I want you to start noticing everything that goes on around you. That's why I always ask, are you watching the signs and the symbols? What numbers are showing up for you? What birds are showing up for you? You know, what billboard do you keep seeing while you're driving? Or what license plates pop out at you? Or bumper stickers? You know, what tree do you keep seeing? They're showing me like all these little magical things that are going on all around you. It's just you having to pay attention to them and putting them into the connecting of the dots. Okay. Because I feel like I guess it's connecting of the dots is going to be your 2020 thing, because it's about the clear vision of seeing what it is that you really want and what you're truly desiring, and getting out of those ruts of where we've been and all those things that we had going on. So, So anyways, all this awesomeness that's taking place, what are you creating in your life? Okay. So if you guys have questions, make sure to drop them in the little box over there, because I'd be happy to answer them for you today or any day. Because that's what I find joy in doing. It took me a long time to figure out where I was going to get my joy, and I get it from helping all of you. So that's why I have this show. This is why I do what I do. I'm here to be of service, okay? And I've always felt like I was kind of a service, because I've always been a caretaker, right? Because even when I was little, see, we're going back to my childhood again, because even when I was younger and stuff, I took care of my parents. I took care of my grandmother. I took care of all of them until they passed away. And I took care of other family members within the family too. They don't need to be mentioned at this particular moment, but it was like I was like the go-to person. I was like the fix-it person. Sometimes I am still that person, but I do not enable people anymore. But I was not enabling when I was being that helper. That was me being the caretaker And it's just many different roles that I've played in my life. Not only just the roles I've played, but the jobs I've had to put me with the people that I've met, that I'm still in contact with today, some of them, you know what I mean? So it's like everything I'm going through a life review, and I'm giving it publicly. Isn't this awesome? So what else do they want me to share today? Because my life is out there. I'm getting that I need to stand in my truth, speak my truth, no matter what it is. And you guys are there to support that no matter what, because there's no judgment, right? There's no judgment. I have no judgment for you. You have no judgment for me. And if you're still standing in judgment, that's something you need to look at. I'm also not going to step into ego, okay? Because I've learned that lesson too through my different jobs, my different relationships and things where I was all in ego and not in love. So now that I've recognized what is ego and what is love, my heart is so much bigger, and the expansion is so much larger for everybody else too, because I'm not affecting people with my ego, right? Because egos affect egos, because there's always like this thing. So no ego, no ego. So we're letting all that go. It's like standing in our truth and standing and resonating in that vibration to make this a better earth, right? And by doing that, by standing in our truth vibration, standing in our love vibration, it starts to create this magical stuff in your life, okay? Because once you start to believe, things change, okay? I had a phone call yesterday from somebody, and they're like, "Were you praying for me?" And I'm like, no, not this time. I was not. And he's like, "Well, everything's falling into place in my life." And I go, "Oh, that's awesome." So I tapped in a little bit. I go, "Because you made a different choice." And he goes, "How did I make a different choice?" And I brought him back to where he made that different choice. And he goes, "Oh, so you make a different choice in your life, and it creates a different reality in your life. But if you keep making the same mistakes over and over again, you got to look at those." Okay. Amy's got a question today. When I do get clear messages, it is as I'm falling asleep at night. I haven't noticed any in quite some time. Okay. I get clear messages when I go to sleep too. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to remember that. And then I forget it. So write them down when you're going to bed. That's going to be helpful for you too. And do you only get them at night? Are you only feeling them at night, or getting the messages when you're falling asleep? Because sometimes when that's the most profound, sometimes because we're kind of getting out of our human self. So try meditation. Meditation will help too, because then you're going to quiet your mind in that same way that when you go to sleep, and it's able to start to be able to see it and feel it and know it, or whatever it is that you need to tap into. I feel like you're going to get them all, because they're showing me like, and you can see I'm pulling it down and through. So it's like, I feel like it's, it's ready to come through. Also, there's a lot of throat clearing today. I don't know if that's because of all the sickness in my house, or I'm starting to speak my truth and I'm really starting to clear everything out. But whatever it is, I'm happy that it's happening. And I'm happy that you guys can be here. I have to say that over and over again, because it's very important that you know that you are important, that you are important people, that you are loved, that you are cared for, and no matter what. Even though I know probably none of you, it's like, I am sending out love to you. You have this. You've got this. We are moving forward together. We are starting to really create things. It's interesting to see how the next couple weeks are going to, see, they putting that out again, putting my chest out. Whew. So they see that everything is going to be moving forward, expanding. We are creating, right? And I'm in my own little bubble. So what am I creating in my world, right? And what are you creating in your little world? Because that's important. You're going to start creating more of that. And I also feel like, Amy, they want me to go back to your messages there for a minute. They want you to know that you're also getting the messages during the day. Just be a little bit more observant of what you're seeing and what you're understanding. Sometimes you throw off one of your own thoughts as one of theirs, or one that you're supposed to be getting as a message or a connection. Sometimes we want validation because we think it's a little crazy or whatever. So this is one of the things that I always tell people when you guys are first starting out doing psychic work and trying to listen to messages and stuff. Sometimes the messages can be bizarre, okay? It's not up to us to interpret them, so to speak. So it was like, I give the example. So all of a sudden I see a purple rhinoceros, and it's a really big one, but it's like, and I'm like, rhinoceroses aren't purple. I'm not going to tell my client that I see a big purple rhinoceros. But please do tell your client that, because they may have had a purple rhinoceros as a kid that was little, but to them was really big. So don't try to, blow off anything that doesn't sound like it might be normal, right? Because none of this stuff is normal. None of this stuff is normal. But nothing surprises me anymore either. Okay, so it's happening for all of us. We're starting to understand more. We're starting to have more knowledge of what we remember from our higher selves, making more sense of all this. Goldylocks says, I know, right? We are wanting a loud voice from heaven, a strong message, but sometimes they are very soft and subtle. Yes, they are. So it's like we have to listen to all the vibrations of the messages. Sometimes they do come through really loud. Sometimes they do. And sometimes they're just like a little breeze. And you're like, did you hear that? It was like a whisper. But it will start to regulate itself for you so that you're on the same page with that vibration that you're starting to connect with. And it also matters on the vibrations that you're connecting with too, which is kind of fun, right? It's because there's all these levels, right? So I just shoot up to all of them. I'm like, woo, who are we going to talk to? Who wants to talk to us? So allow yourself to go into that safe zone, know that you're protected and stuff, and just go flying out there and talk to whoever you need to talk to, your higher self. Because I feel like that's where most of my messages come from, my higher selves, and they connect in with all of you guys. It's like this whole little, I don't even know how to describe it, but this little circuit system out there going, wee, 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 all these connections being made and stuff. Maybe if you just take the flower of life and start fluctuating it back and forth. I want someone to do that. I think that'd be kind of cool. But it's all these connections being made. So we're all connected, right? Even from our higher self. So they're wanting everyone to get more connected with your higher self. So if you're not meditating, please start meditating. Even if it's just quiet time, you don't have to, do Om or whatever. Just listen to a guided meditation or something if you can't quiet your mind. Sometimes that's helpful. But getting into that space and really just allowing yourself to get into it is really important. Because the more that we tap into our higher selves, the more it feels better within our body. And the more that we let go of the everyday stresses that we may hold on to, right? Because a lot of times you could have physical ailments. Maybe it's in your neck or your shoulders, or you got something else going on in your body somewhere. When you start to connect more to your higher self and really stay connected, you learn how to channel that energy to clear it out or to let it go, whatever needs to happen for it. Because I feel like there's a lot of, as you can see, I can't stop moving. So I feel like there's this energy flush going on for you guys. So it's like, so clearing out all the old, bringing down the new, bringing in balance. I think there's going to be balance this month. And again, this month is about love, right? So it's February, everything. But are you loving yourself? Are you loving yourself? Are you honoring yourself? Are you taking care of yourself? And if you're not, it's time for you to start taking care of yourself. Okay. Me included. Okay. Because I'm bad about self-care. Okay. I'll take care of the kids all day long. And I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. At nighttime, I'm so tired. But it's like, anyways, it's about self-care. We need to start taking care of ourselves. Right. So again, clearing out what no longer serves us, people, places, and things, right? So I started in my house. I haven't done anything since last week, even though I said I was going to do some more. I think that'll be this weekend. It'll depend on the storm flying through or coming through. Wow, someone out there, this is not all me. This is not all me. So someone out there needs to clear out your throat. Everyone take a good cough and get it going. So it's like, let it go, let it go. Maybe it's hard to let go of people, places, and things, and that's not standing in your truth, and it's hurting you, right? Because I have that. I've seen that. I've seen it a lot. I see it with a lot of my clients being married for so long, and they don't feel like they can leave, but they want to leave, and then they get all caught up here because then they're not standing and speaking in their truth. Or, you're at jobs that happens, or you're in love relationships where that happens. And it's really time for you guys to let that stuff go. Okay. And I don't know what's going on in our backs right now, but is everyone's wings ready to come out or something? Because there's a lot of tension on my shoulder blades at the moment. So that's where our wings would be. So everyone needs to shake it up a little bit. And maybe all that energy coming through is freaking everybody out a little bit. But just let it flow. It's okay. It's very gentle. It's very loving. It's for your highest and best. It comes straight from God. It comes right from love. The same vibration that we all stand in. See, it's starting to go away as I say that. So remember, we all stand in that love vibration. And if you're not feeling the love vibration, it's time to stand in it. I'm excited for you guys. So let's see. Amy said, thank you. Oh, you're so welcome, Amy. I'm glad you could tap in today. And I hope this show is helpful for you. I am so happy moving forward that there's going to be exciting new changes. And you know what? I don't know what they are. But I know they're exciting, right? So I'm going forward like this. I'm being very blind. I'm trusting my faith. I'm trusting that I believe in what is going to happen next, okay? I believe that I'm going to be taken care of by the universe, by God, and following my path for the highest and best to help and service the most people that I can help. And you guys are all starting to tap into that too, right? Because I felt like, look, they're even tapping in my heart. So it's time for you guys to tap into this, okay? Tap in and start trusting this, okay? This is hard because we still get affected by what people might say. And there's still people out there that have opinions and judgments. You know, it happens, but you don't have to listen to them. Though they have to live with how they feel about you. It's you and your bubble, taking care of you, creating the happy life that you would like to have. Okay. And the only person that can do that is you. Okay. Again, I always put this back in your lap, right? I'll just go back to that story I was telling earlier. When that gentleman had made a different choice, things really started to fall into his life, right? Because his pattern would be, he's waiting for the shoe to drop. That's what he said to me. I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. And I go, but if you've made different decisions, that shoe's not going to drop. That always drops. But he's like, but I still feel like it's coming. And I go, well, keep making different choices. Okay. So every time we choose something different, it creates a different vibration. It creates something different for us and creates more joy and happiness. Because our happiest thing is to find joy, right? It's to find that joy that you need or want in your life. And we all want it, right? That's all I've ever seeked, you know, just like I'll go back to when I was 13 again. I remember someone asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I go, I want to be happy. You know, and now I'm finding out what joy is. And happy, we can be happy some of the times, but I want to be joyful all the time. I want to be joyful. I want to be bubbly. I want to be excited. I want to be ecstatic. Ooh, ecstatic. I love that. I'm going to have to remember that one. But I don't want to be staticky. Anyways, sometimes they have a sense of humor. It's not me, but anyways, it could be me. But anyways, let's see what else we got going on in the world. Let's see. February. So if you guys are not finding love or in love, know it's coming soon, but you have to love yourself first so that you get into the right relationship. So that's probably why I stress enough that you have to do self-love, self-care, whatever it is for you. Don't feel like you have to help everyone under the sun before you help yourself, because that is not true. People know how to help themselves. And if they don't, they know how to ask. So just be aware of all of that too. Let's see what else is going on in the world. Let's see, the rabbit hole. They want me to show you that again too, because of the swirliness. I feel like the energy is kind of doing that today. I feel like we're kind of like sitting on this sit and spin. So I don't know where it's going to spit us out, because I feel like we're going to be spit out somewhere, but I feel like we're all, remember when we were two, sitting on the sit and spin, you know, and I feel like we're going to get shot off somewhere. So it's going to be interesting where the next few days take us. I guess we're moving into a full moon, so that can make a lot of sense. And it's a snow moon. So I hear you guys up there north getting snow. Good for you. Enjoy it. But this is going to be a beautiful full moon, I feel like. Even here with the rain and stuff that's supposed to be here Saturday or whatever's happening, I feel like we'll still feel the energy of that full moon. I feel like it's really connecting. I feel like more people are feeling energy, more the vibrations, whatever you want to call it, the vibes, frequency, whatever it is, you guys are starting to understand it more or starting to recognize it more. So this is very important as we move forward, so that you can start recognizing whose energy is what and what they're doing with it or projecting out. You know, some people throw their energy out there all over the place. I'm like, whoa, maybe that's what was happening at the doctor's office today because there was a lot of people in the waiting room. Like, whew, maybe I'm around just too many sick people. I don't know. The energy got to be too much. Or being an empath too, you guys have to remember that you pick up on a lot of people's stuff, right? You walk around as this sponge. And you could be, and you just soak everything up, right? You just soak it all up. So if whatever you picked up doesn't belong to you, release it now, that you're always in control. That even helps because I must be picking up on a lot of people's crap today. And I don't mean to. It just happens sometimes when I forget to protect myself because I don't think I bubbled before I left the house. So remember to bubble up. That's always important too. So let's see what else is going to take place. February, I feel like is going to be transformational. Okay. I think we started out with that last week, but they keep wanting me to go back to that because it's funny. They had me playing with this piece of clay I was designing with Christopher yesterday. And I took the clay and I made it very flat. And then all of a sudden, well, no, first I made it into like a bowl, right? I made it so that it was a nice bowl. And then I made it flat and then I inverted it. Okay. And I guess this is very important too, because this is what we're kind of doing to Earth, right? We're kind of kneading it a little bit. We're making it into what we want. We're flattening it out a little bit. And then we're inverting it, right? Into what we want it to be. We're into what we desire, right? Because they want me to share that we're flipping all these switches, right? We're not doing the things that we used to do the same way. We're going, oh yeah, that doesn't feel right anymore. Let's try it this way. And by that, we start flipping these switches. And by flipping these switches and flipping these things and inverting them is going to bring them to light for one, right? It's going to bring all the dark to the light so we understand more because I feel like that's very important. And it's also going to help us understand more of what's going on in our world and know that truth is on the way, people. It's been a long time coming, so just know that it's finally on its way. And we are going to feel okay about it. Okay, some of us are going to feel really, we knew that already, right? It's going to be like validation for us. Other people are going to be a little more shocked. And they're going to be like, what the heck just happened here? What? We are the calm people, right? We're the calm in the storm. So we are here, you guys, all the people that are watching this now, because you wouldn't be watching this if this was not important to you, that you guys are there to help those people beside you that are a little bit in chaos. Okay. I don't mean fix everything for them. You can help them, give them great advice, whatever that might be. But it's help point out some things if you need to be observant. Sometimes it helps to share another point of view. That is helpful too, which I feel like I've been doing a lot this week. I feel like as soon as I see something either on my Facebook or on YouTube and I need to share it, I'm like, oh, someone needs to see that. I was like, that's what I'm trying to say, but I'm saying it in a much clearer way. So I'm glad to see that so many people out there are giving the same messages and that I'm able to share them so that people can see what I'm talking about, other people are talking about, and that they know that other people are talking about the same things that they're talking about. So many of us are on the same page. And sometimes just a different paragraph, right? That's what I always like to say. We're on the same page, different paragraph, but we're all getting caught up is what I'm getting, okay? So we're all getting caught up in our knowledge. We're all getting caught up in what our truth is. We're all getting caught up in what we know to be true, right? Because everything's starting to fall into place for you guys, and things are going to start to fall into place a lot faster, right? As long as you believe. If any fear pops up, right? That's what I like to call a little roadblock. The fear pops up all of a sudden, you need to back off and go, all right, I'm going to walk through that fear and just walk through it, okay? Because it's time to just walk through the fear and just like it never existed. It never existed. We are magical beings, and we are just starting to touch the iceberg of that, the tip of the iceberg on that one. And as I say that, they're starting to heat me up right now. So just know that as we start to move forward, we start to use more of our abilities, start to understand more of our abilities, our psychic senses, or whatever it might be, your knowing, whatever those things might be for you. You are starting to tap in more. You are making a difference here on Earth. You are made of the love vibration, just like everybody else. You are here to create that love. You're here to live in that love vibration and create the life that you enjoy, right? And there's so many people out there that want this, that we as a collective are vibrating much higher than we ever have before. Okay, the energy before was maybe down here. I'm going to stay in the camera. The energy down here was probably down here, right? I'm going to say even 5-6 years ago, still, maybe. But now, as the years have gone by, we as a collective have been working our way up here. And we are hanging out at a much higher vibration now. And being in this higher vibration is creating those changes. Okay. We are changing reality one by one. So you guys should be giving yourselves pats on the back for that, because it's absolutely fantastic. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's see. Oh, let's see what else they have for you guys today. I tell you, I got to use a little fan. They're making me hot. The energy is starting to kick now. So it's like, woo! I hope you guys are feeling it too, because it's helping me clear out whatever I don't need anymore and whatever you don't need anymore, helping you stand in your highest and best self, allowing you to grow, which I find fantastic. They're happy that you guys are starting to stand in your power and your truth more, because you are creating these changes. And the more that you create these changes, the happier they become, because we are creating that change that we've wanted so badly here on earth, that we are starting to invert it. Okay. So what was, and right, where they're showing me it's coming up and out now. So it's like, we are going to see everything. We're going to understand so much more. Truth is going to be magic. Julia says, do the angels have any messages for me today, please? And thank you. Let me tap in for you, Julia. Okay. Okay. So Julia, it's kind of weird because you're kind of in that same energy today. It's kind of like, I kind of don't know if we're coming or going, is what it kind of feels like. Because I got in your energy and I don't know if I was coming or going today. Just know that that's only going to happen today. And then it's like fast forward. I feel like today's like our down day before, full speed into the full moon. But also as moving forward, the sky is the limit and beyond. You keep yourself a limit. The angels want you to remove the limits and just shoot for all the way out to the stars, out to the planets, out into the multiverse, wherever it is that you truly want to go. They're like, and the angels are connecting with you. Are you doing some kind of art or something? Because I feel like they're coming into your artwork or something that you're doing, because they just showed me like in a page, because the other night in my class, no art. Well, then you need to get out a pen and start drawing or something, because they just showed me like a little pencil angel art or something, which is kind of funny because automatic writing lately has turned into automatic drawing. I don't have any of those right here with me, or I'd show them to you. And they're showing me like little angels. Well, that could be, it's time for you to create, Julia. If you want to, it's time for you to start creating something new for yourself. Okay. And it doesn't have to be artwork or whatever, but they're just showing me the creative thing, because 2020 is also about creation. And it's about what we're creating. Create is going to be their motto this year. And love. But they also want to say that as moving forward, Julia, it's going to be easy. It's going to be a lot easier than it's ever been, because they're showing me like this. And it's funny. I don't know if you ice skate or not, but they're showing me this ice skating rink, and you're just like, la la la, skating along. It's very glidey, very smooth. So enjoy the ride. If you have any fears that are still popping up, they want you to get rid of those though. Just kick them to the curb. I hope that was helpful for you today, Julia. That's funny. Maybe they want me to draw it, because they did make me get out my little piece of paper. And trust me, my artwork is not like, the grandest. Okay. You're welcome. But it's like, it could be as simple as something like this, right? It could be as simple as something like this. But they're wanting you to get out the piece of paper and just doodle. Because they had me draw, I posted it out on my Facebook last week, but they had me draw these 11 faces on this piece of paper, and each face was different. And trust me, I'm no artist. My brother's like, what is that? I'm like, oh, I can't explain it to you. So it's just like the energy wants to come through. So if you are creating, I feel like a lot of it is going to be channeled energy. Like your higher self is like, woo, we get to create, we get to do this now. And allowing yourself to bring in that connection, which will be awesome. So it could be writing, it could be artwork, it could be, crocheting, it could be whatever you want. It could be, gardening, planting trees. I feel like there's a lot of things that are going to bring people joy, right? Because I'm going to get a petunia soon. because they're in season here in Florida. And they remind me of my mother too. So I guess I'm connecting it with my mother energy again. But I find great joy in when they are here, because every day you have to go out there and pick the dead ones off so that it becomes fuller and fuller and fuller. So I'm going to find great joy in that when I finally get around to doing that, right? So it can be as simple as buying yourself a plant to bring yourself joy. So they want you to start stepping into that, whatever that joy is, right? Because by me picking those off, I am creating a bigger plant, believe it or not, because if you don't, it just shrivels up and dies. So you create. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Let's see what else is going on in the world. I feel like I'm feeling the collective stuff today. I feel like I have to tap into that. With everything that's going on, I guess, in the political world, they're so divided right now. I feel like maybe that's kind of the energy I'm feeling today. So anyone raise their hand if you're feeling that. Let's kind of block that out, and everything's going to work out for the highest and best, and kind of like not take it on personally, because it's affecting us a little bit. So just put it out that we ask that the highest and best things take place for the whole humanity and everyone that's needed. So that, because the energy is really weird today. Maybe it's the storms that are coming in. Where are you all calling in from today or chatting in from? Let me know, and let me know how your weather is and how you're feeling. You don't have to ask a question. You can just let me know how you're feeling too. I feel like we need to be interactive here. So it's like exciting that we're going to be moving forward. And I feel like after I just released that energy, my heart feels a lot better. I feel like we're standing more in our space rather than in everybody else's space, even though we are a collective. They want you to understand that too. But it's about expanding outside of that, expanding outside of our beliefs. So the angels are here with us today because Archangel Michael's been following me around, I feel like, the last couple of days. But I feel like he follows me around all the time. I think we're best friends or something. But I feel like we're connecting in more. They're trying to give us more messages. And if you're not listening to the messages, someone else will give it to you, right? Because it's like my mother-in-law came over here yesterday and she's like, I got a message for you. I can't text it to you. I got to talk to you. And it was about something that I had already been thinking about, but then I needed more information. So instead of them giving it to me, they went through her to relay that message to me. So messages come from some of the silliest places and some of the not so silliest places sometimes. Whether it's your best friend, your mother-in-law, your husband, your girlfriend, your boss, the messages come from everywhere. And sometimes we don't recognize it because we don't know that we're channeling that information. Sometimes I'm going to go back to that gentleman I spoke to the other day, and his life changing by him making a different choice. Well, he was having a conversation with his girlfriend, and all of a sudden he started channeling, and he's thinking to himself, I sound just like Melissa. And that's huge coming from him, because when I first started all this, he didn't believe anything that I did at all. He thought it was all, hocus pocus, whatever. But now he truly believes, because it actually happened to him, because he made the different choices in his life to actually allow that to step into him, to make that conversation happen for the person that was the other person to have the conversation with that needed that information. So it's just kind of great how all these things kind of like fall into place and you don't even recognize them at the time. Amy says, I'm in Connecticut and it's very overcast. Many in my large family are arguing about politics right now. Oh, tell them to stop. Or just stay out of the conflict. Stay out of the conflict. Yeah, you guys are expecting snow this weekend, I think. We're getting rain and wind, and you guys are, but I was from Connecticut. That's awesome. Good for you, Amy. But don't get involved in the politics that people are talking about. Don't get in that energy. All it is a negative fight all the way around, because everyone's trying to prove their point and they all think they're right. So just step back and go, all right, you guys work it out. I'm going to be neutral on this. It's kind of safer that way sometimes. Because it's not allowed to be talked about in my house. When we have family dinners and stuff, I go, nope, you guys know where the door is, right over there. It doesn't need to be talked about. This is about love and happiness. It's not about creating chaos in our own families and homes. Because everyone has a different point of view, but that's okay. That's okay. We just don't have to get stuck in it. That's all. So they want you to get out there and create. So create that joy. Go pick up that plant. Go get a massage, self-care. They're going to talk about that again too, because they want us to take care of ourselves, right? We need to take care of our physical just as well as we do our spiritual, right? Body, mind, and spirit. We need to take care of all those. leave the mind aside a little bit because it's had more than its share of time to do what it's needed to do. Let's work on the other two for a little bit, So do things that make your body happy, right? Eat the foods that make you happy. Drink the juices or the water that makes you happy, whatever. They want you to do things that make you happy. Okay. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other people think, whatever makes you happy. And you know that you're doing the right thing for you. Okay. Because I feel like we're all starting to adjust that right now. Things are starting to shift and change in that avenue too. Because we're starting to take better care of ourselves. We're really concerned about what's in our food now. We're really concerned about what they're putting in our bodies. We're really concerned about what they've been feeding us for so long. You know what I mean? We all finally woke up and go, what's going on here? So now it's like we're trying to bring that back to center, if that makes sense. And you can do that with your own physical thoughts. That's going to help first. Also, by taking good care of yourself, whatever that may be. Maybe you're a workout queen and you want to work out all the time or whatever. You want to eat healthy, blah, 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 whatever. If you do whatever you feel is right for you, because it's time for us to take care of ourselves as we move forward. And let's see. February was a short month and a leap year. Isn't that fun? Oh, I know what I want to talk about. Hey, so you guys on Sunday, on that 2/2/2/2/2 day, our little mirror day, or palindrome, or however you pronounce that, how are you guys feeling? The energy was amazing. I went out to the beach with my friend Lanka, and we had a great time. I did a little video of me doing some energy work that I haven't posted out yet, but I'm probably going to do that. I'm still a little shy. I'm trying to get over my shyness, believe it or not. But anyways, I'll probably share it. It'll be on my YouTube channel. Check it out. But it's like the energy was really, really powerful that day. And it was so cold down here in Sarasota, Florida. Oh my God. I had on 2 sweatshirts. So I didn't even take my shoes off. I'm sorry. I wore shoes on the beach. I never do that, but it was so cold and windy. But the energy was really good. And you could tell who was there on vacation because they were in the water, and you could tell who lived there because we were all bundled up, which I thought was so funny the first time when I moved to Florida and it got cold the first time. And everyone had on these big parkas that I would see up in, Connecticut and Maine and stuff. And I did mine too. That's funny. And they were all bundled up, freezing to death. You know what I mean? So it was like, oh my God, now I'm that person. It took like 20 years. No, it took less than that. My blood thinned faster than that. But I thought it was funny. And so when people come down here and they see us Floridians all wrapped up when it's, 50 degrees out, that's like our 30 to you guys, right? That's a big difference. Amy says, I did my taxes on Sunday. Good. They probably worked out really well for you. Everything probably matched up for you, right? Everything was easy, right? Or at least I hope it was. Taxes are icky. But we all have to do them at some point or another. Awesome. So I'll probably post that out there if you want to see that. Let's see what else is going on. We've got about 10 minutes left in our show or so. Let's see what's going on in our world besides everything else. They just are sending down like this. You can see I just lit up just there because it's like the sun is trying to come out for 1 minute. But I feel like there's like this new vibration of energy coming and flowing. So I can't even talk. They're making me stutter now. So I feel like it's making us to help us to release and to allow, because I feel like it's coming in and it's releasing and it's expanding us. So you guys still see yourselves as very small, right? As very small. You guys may see yourselves like this. Now they want you guys to see yourselves like this. Oh, and could you feel the energy when you do that? Ooh, you guys are pretty powerful healers out there. I can feel that. You guys tap in and feel that. Try this with yourselves. Feel the energy. See how far out you can take that energy. Don't be afraid. And bounce it out as far as you can. You guys are pretty strong. I can feel that just by doing that. The things I learned are just doing what I do. We learn from everything. So I want to tap into that too. You never stop learning. Never, ever, ever, ever do we stop learning. That's probably why, all through my life, I had to take this class, that class. I'm like a seeker of knowledge. And I call myself the seeker of truth. And I call myself the seeker of knowledge too, because I need to have some knowledge to go with that truth that I have going on. But it's also like, what do you call yourself? What are you learning about yourself in this lifetime? It's like we are starting to create something new. So the names will change. Everything's going to change. The jobs are going to change. Everything's going to change. What is it you're looking to change these days, right? Because you have the power to change it. You're the creator of it. So you get to create it, which is exciting. I'm excited for you. And they're like, whatever you have that's in that creation mode, whatever those seeds you've been planting all these years, they're ready to come to fruition this year. I feel like all the ones that I've planted over the years and stuff are ready to do the same thing. Pa-pow, pa-pow, pa-pow is what they're showing me. Like everything's going to grow really quickly, like right out of the dirt. And I love it when they show me Jack and the Beanstalk, because then the beanstalk goes all the way up into the sky and it really never stops, right? So those magic beans that you've been planting, those seeds you've been planting, now they're going to come into fruition this year. So you are creating the abundance and the flow that you've always wanted in your life just by the decisions you've been making all your life. There's not one significant event that actually happens for you to go, oh my God, I've done it. You kind of look back and go, oh, I've been doing it. You're like, oh, how did I get here? How did this happen? It's kind of like that time thing kind of gets away from us and kind of, just gets in there and does what it does, which is way cool. Things happen for a reason. And sometimes we don't always understand the reason, but you're starting to understand the reason so much more because those pieces of the puzzle are being put together. You are starting to understand more of who you really are and why you're really here. It's not just your individual lives. It's us as a collective. It's us as an earth. It's us as a vibration. There's so many different levels to it all. And I feel like they're going to give more explanation of that in the coming weeks and months for people to open up and expand more. Don't hold yourselves back from learning anything. Just know that if you don't feel it in your heart, don't trust it. And I've had to learn that along the way too, because it all depends on who you learn from, right? It matters. It does. It has to come from a light vibration, a heart vibration. And if it changes to an ego vibration, then you need to stop learning from that person, because that person has now been taken over by ego and no longer in the heart vibration. There are 3 viewers on YouTube. Say hello to them. Hi, YouTube. I'm glad you guys are watching too. I guess if anyone posts a question over there, you'd have to relay it to me, Goldylocks. So I'm glad you guys are tapping in over there too. That's awesome. I'm glad I have all you guys with me today. That's awesome. Yay. I never know who's going to be here on the show because we just changed to this format. So everyone's just finding us. The energy, the vibration, it will flow in front of you if you're supposed to watch it. That's how I usually find things. They just flow in front of me and I'm like, oh, I need to check that out. And then I subscribe and follow. So if this feels like something that you want, then subscribe and follow. I'll sound like those other people. That's so funny. But anyways, I'm glad you all could be here because the energy, look, I'm not at a loss for words today. This never happens. My words flow and they're like, but anyways, with everything that's going on, you are creating the change in the world. You are standing in that love and heart vibration. You are the change, people, not somebody outside of you. No one outside of you can change you. Only you can change you. So I'm giving that power back to you. I'm throwing those reins back at you, giving your steering wheel back to you, whatever it is you need to get yourself to steer yourself forward, because it's time for you to do that forward. Where are we going? I don't know, but I trust it. Right? That's always a hard one, because we as humans want to know. We want the map. We want to see where we're going and how that's going to work out. But even if we had that map, it wouldn't work for us because we'd have some expectation attached to what the ending would look like or whatever, but they don't want you to do that. They just want you to know it's for the highest and best you. The highest and best you and what you desire and what you're here to create and what you're here to learn, right? Because again, we never stop learning. We never stop learning. There's always something to learn from somebody, something, someone, anything. Whew, I tell you what, the energy is kicking now. I don't know who those people are on YouTube, but they added an extra kick after you said that. So thank you guys for just tapping in. Because I can only see one screen, so that's all I got. But anyways, anything that's going on out there, you are the creators. You have the choice to change your mind in any moment to create the happiness that you desire in your life. And don't hold yourself back because someone else, you might hurt somebody else's feelings. Okay, you might hurt somebody else or whatever. Let's see, Sarah and Found Happiness and me chatting on YouTube. Love that second name. Love that. All right. And Found. Sarah and Found Happiness. And nice. Love that second name. You know, it's like, thank you for tapping in and chatting. Woo, woo. I'm so happy that you guys could be here. Again, I'm here every Monday, or no, I was going to say it's Monday. There's that time thing again. I'm here Wednesdays. I'm here on the hump day. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, that's so funny. I don't know what day or time it is. I have to always look at my phone and go, oh yeah, it's today. That's today. So love that. I love that you guys are tapping in. I love that you guys are taking your control back. I love that you guys are making the decisions that you need to make yourselves happy. And I'm so happy that you guys are here today, because my energy connecting with your energy is creating this vibration. I call it like the ripple effect. And it doesn't matter if there's 3 of you, 4 of you, 6 of you, 20 of you, 2,000 of you. We are all creating that ripple effect, right? Because my energy touches you, it makes you a little happy, and then you go, oh, that made me happy, and then you share that information, and then it goes out, and it goes out, and it goes out. And that same thing happens with anyone that you listen to that brings up something in you that brings joy, and you start to create more of that. So share your joy with people, because people love it. They absolutely love it. And we need to share more joy, right? Because usually I have a lot of clients right now that are dropping a lot of friends that are always calling and complaining, like nothing ever goes good in their life. And I'm like, yeah, how long are you going to hang on to that relationship? And they're like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. And they start dropping it. So it's like, we're dropping all the negativity and we're going to just share joy. Like, woo, this happened to me today. This was so exciting. You know, not like, oh my God, this happened to me today. Even though I kind of did share that story in the beginning about the doctor's office, but I'm still human. So it's like, I'm recognizing my human self from my spiritual self, what grounds me, what doesn't ground me. So I'm learning to make myself a better human being while I'm on this earth by all the experiences that I've had with people, places, and things all through my life, right? So woohoo, you guys are the creators. So what are you creating this year? Creating joy and happiness and joy, and love. I don't know which way it looks like to you guys, but that's love. Okay, so it's love. You guys are the center of love, right? It comes from your heart center. It comes from your vibration. And I love that you have this going on, okay? That you are going to start creating more of the joy you love in your life and have in your life. So people, places, and things, clear house, people, so that you can have that joy you need. And the people that are those people, places, and things can go learn what they need to learn on the outside of that. Just know that you can always send love. It doesn't mean that you totally disconnect completely. You just have to set some boundaries, maybe. You know what I mean? Set some boundaries with some peeps. Let's see. What do they want to close out with? Because we got 4 minutes left. So let's see. They're very excited. I don't know what's going to happen after this full moon. I guess I'm going to have to tap in with you guys next Wednesday on that, because I feel like building up to this full moon is going to be pretty intense the next couple days, because it's on Saturday, right? So then the next couple days are going to, question from Sarah on YouTube. Do my spirit guides have a message? Sure. Let me tap in there for you, Sarah. Huh. All right, Sarah, things are going to start rocking and rolling for you, because the first thing they did for me was drum my hands on my legs. So either you're drumming to a new beat, you're creating a new beat, there's something new going on for you, and it's going to happen quickly. I feel like things are just going to be like, I don't feel like it was a drum set, but I feel like, woohoo, like we have like, you know, drum roll, please. There's excitement to be had for you. So I'm excited that that's going to happen for you, because it's like they're showing me it's just going to unfold into something very beautiful. So whatever you have going on right now, whatever you have that's in that creation mode, because now they're showing me like this beautiful flower. So it's like this beautiful flower being, and it's like I'm going to call it the lotus, because it's really that big. So all your petals are starting to fall. You're starting to open. You are much more beautiful than you think you are. And there's great joy to be had within this flower. So it's like, woo! Oh, get out of town. The full moon in Leo on Sunday at 2:33. 2:33. You guys know me and my numbers, right? Anyways, that's perfect that you would send that through right now, because then that master number just came through. So the Ascended Masters are going to sign off on that question for Sarah. So you have their support. You have their support. They have your back. You're being completely surrounded by these angels, loved ones, and ascended masters, I feel like, because I feel like you're ready to step into your abilities in a big way. I feel like you're ready to open up like the door. So enjoy what happens as you move forward, Sarah. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so it's about 2:00 this afternoon. My show has been on for 59 minutes. I want to thank every one of you for tapping in today, and tapping in anytime, whether it's now or in the future, tapping into that love vibration, changing your lives one at a time, to stand in your power, to stand in your joy, and to create the life that you truly deserve and desire, and creating the happiness that is so needed here on earth. You are the magic that you need to be. So I thank you all for joining in, and I'll see you next Wednesday at 1, and I love you. See ya.